There are many quiz competitions where we want to find not just the first player, but the first player on each team to ring in after a question has been asked. This particular system was designed for the competition where we want to know the first player from each team. We want to know who was first, we want to know who was second, and we want to know who was third. And an important part of that is we need to be able to lock out all of the players on a particular team as soon as a player from that team has rang in. And that's what this system does, the system that you see in front of you. It's a very simple system. It consists of a player box for each player, and that's what we have. You can see it here, but this is what it looks like. It has a easy to connect connection right here, a light on top, and a permanently attached handheld button. And these are the same handheld buttons that we use on all of our systems. They're very well made, very reliable, used in a lot of systems. So we have a player box for each player and a light so we can know which player rang in first, second, or third. This is the main control box. That's where everything is connected with a 15-foot cord. This 15-foot cord is very flexible and has extremely reliable RCA style pin plug connectors. What you can't see here because we have it plugged in is the connectors on the other side that for each of the three teams. And here's a control console that has the same exact type of connectors. We have a group of four, a group of four, a group of four. And so as long as we plug in the connectors the right way, then each team will be appropriately associated. All right, well, let's show how the system works. What I'm going to do first is talk about how we know who was first, second, and third. And the way we do that is the way the lights come on when a player rings in. And everything you need to know is on a label that's on the side of the control box. As we show here, the first player's light is on continuously. The second player's light that comes in is what we call a long blink, symbolized by this symbol pattern we have here. And this has shorter lines, so that means that it has short blinks. And I think it'll be obvious when you see it in the video for how it works. And we'll get to that in just a second. Now, an important thing that I just mentioned is making sure that all of the team players are connected to the appropriate team. If you crisscross your wires or you plug it in wrong, you'll have people on the wrong team connected to each other and it won't work. So let's see how this works. We have a button on our controller called Team Test. We can press this button and it will turn on the team light and it will turn on all the players' lights, and you can make sure they're all plugged in correctly. And it will show it for a couple seconds, and a couple seconds. And then if you need to do it again, you can always press it again. And here we go. This light comes on, all four players. That one, all four. That one, and all four. So everybody's hooked up correctly. Now it's time to see how it works. Now the first player rings in. The light on top of the console comes on to tell us that somebody on this team rang in first, and we also had a quick beep sound to tell us that this particular team had rang in. Now our eyes can go out to the player box and we can see that this player was the first to ring in. Like I mentioned, an important feature on this system is that nobody else on this team can ring in. Now we need to know who was second and who was third. Somebody on this team rings in. Like I mentioned, the second player's light is what we call a long blink. The longer the light is on, the higher priority is that particular player is. You know, this is the second player's team, and as before, nobody else can ring in and be the third. That's only going to happen on the other team. This light's dark, so that means that nobody's rang in from this team yet. So we're waiting for that third team, and let's go ahead and ring in right here. Now, as we can see, we have the first player whose light's on continuously. This is the second player. That player has a long blink. And this player's team, which is shown right here, has a short blink. When we're ready for the next question, we can reset the system by pressing the button on top of the console, or we have a very convenient handheld button, which is no different than the buttons that are used by the players, that they can press the button and clear it for the next question. And as soon as you see the lights flash, the system's ready for the next question and it's ready to ring in.